Copper is one of the hottest investment themes at the moment, and prices just keep rising. We are talking to Patick Elliott today, CEO of newly listed copper and gold explorer Forte Minerals, which is trading on the CSE with the ticker CUAU. We want to hear how Patick and Forte want to profit from the copper boom. If you're interested in more CEO interviews like this, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Welcome, Patick.
Thank you very much.
So, Patick, thank you for taking the time for this interview. I appreciate it, especially as it's a bit early, your time. Before we start talking about Forte and your projects, please give us a bit of background on yourself and tell us about the Forte team.
No, that's great. Thanks very much. I'm an economic geologist. I studied BSc in geology early days, and I spent about 12 years in South America exploring for gold and copper in Chile and Peru. At which time, I decided to go to grad school, did an MSc in mineral economics and an MBA in mining finance. And so, I consider myself like an economic geologist, on the financial side. And, we've continued to find ourselves going back into Peru because we've had a lot of success there. The team has decades of experience in Peru. Manuel Montoya, formerly with Caminco and Teck Resources for over 2 decades in Peru, looking for oil and for copper. He's made several discoveries for copper, and he's our general manager and VP exploration. Our board has all had experience in Chile and Peru, and so there's a vast experience of exploration, discovery, and success in South America, and predominantly in Peru, and that's why our focus is there. I originally moved to Peru in 2006 to work on Zafranal deposit. Teck Resources and Manuel Montoya discovered Zafranal. It's now a bankable feasibility stage project, copper, moly, porphyry deposit that's will likely go into production. So it's the reason we're there, and we find ourselves in a fairly attractive base metals copper market, and we're excited to be listed on CSE and the OTC, and soon on the OTC and as well as on the Frankfurt Exchange.
Great. Well, thank you for the introductions. And you said you've been in the country, in Peru or in South America for a long time now. Peru is one of the biggest copper producers worldwide, I think number 2, if I'm correct there. So is there still potential? Is there still room for big discoveries? And also please tell us a bit about the investing climate there and the government's stance on mining.
Yeah, these are questions I get often, and it's very current, right? I think we can focus on Peru and copper initially here. To answer the question, it's relatively underexplored because it was only in the last couple of decades where companies started moving in, looking for deposits more thoroughly. So the Andes remain heavily underexplored. Remoteness is an issue. It's a very tough terrain, and there's yet a lot yet to be explored, discovered, and developed. So that's where we find ourselves there, and we're working on several prospects and targets that are recently identified, and can be drilled for the first time. So you'll see a few new projects in the country getting permitted and mines built, and lots to be developed and discovered. Now, having said that, they sat at number 2 on the production scale worldwide for a long time here, and everybody's wondering when are they going to surpass Chile? And with Cohone, Las Bambas, and some other new major mines coming on stream, and a few others here, I think we'll see that happen. Peru has been on the map for copper for some time, and I think the eyes and ears out there will be surprised when some of these new projects come on stream. The permitting political situation has always been a bit of a bottleneck. It's been in the spotlight more recently with the new president, Castillo. Now, we've seen it for the last 2 decades, being in and out of Peru with 4 or 5 different exploration companies. Nothing really changes that much, right? It's you have these new leaders and a lot of voices and so some smaller uprisings and blockades and whatnot, but it is very important to the nation. It's a big part of the GDP. Some of these major mines take up 2 to 3% of the country's GDP. So, taking one of those off stream or blocking them or putting them on hold is very detrimental to the economic health of the nation. And the people realize that, and they soon realize that. But I think what you're going to see, moreover, in this cycle is perhaps a better distribution of some of this economic wealth that has come in through taxation, mining taxation, and the revenue seen there. It's not all going to go to Lima and to the upper hands, but more so to the people that need it, and that's really what the people want. It's not that they want mining to stop. The environmental regulations and restraints are there to protect that. ESG is more important than ever now with all the mining companies, and as it should be. And we spend a lot of time on social and environmental aspects, working with communities. We have to, and a big part of our budget goes towards that. So, we're very comfortable and confident being in Peru, and things will work out, in favor of mining, and as it is important to the economic wealth of the nation.
Yeah, certainly that's true. There's a problem of the distribution of the West that is generated by the mining, and as you said, I think the country can only profit from it, at least at the moment. And as you said, when you've been there a long time and you're comfortable being there, so I think we can be confident that you will be there for a while yet. And I guess you might be comfortable with today's copper environment and the price environment, let's say, and the projections people make for copper, especially in light of electrification of things. Can you tell us a bit, what is your view on the copper market? What are you expecting?
Well, it's a very nice market to be in. I think if we look at the 2-year chart on copper, we can all say that's very attractive. It is pretty incredible 24-month move. And moreover, if you look at the last 2 decades, we really only see these types of climbs in 2 other occasions. And that was in 2006, as the market really picked up for all metals, but predominantly copper as well. And then after the housing crisis crash in 2008, we saw a really nice rebound there. So the trend is positive, but it's supported by very strong fundamentals for the economic drivers for the demand for copper are concrete. They're real, and we're going to see demand outstrip primary production by 2025, and that's what's really important, is not to have a very short lived cycle of a 12-month demand where we get the spike of copper, but a long sustained demand where we can fuel new production with pipeline projects. They need 4 to 5 years anyways to get on stream, to get permitted and through feasibility and built. So, there's a lot of lead time in order to get new production to the market. But no, it's very, and I look at it very closely as an economist. I see the, that kind of that curve where it meets in 2025, and it's important. We need there's a lack of emerging copper stories. And that's why I think, this Forte story, as well as a lot of these other junior copper stories out there, they're looking for resources, trying to build deposits for the next production cycle is very important.
Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about Forte's copper projects. Give us a rundown. Where are they located? What size are they? What stage of development are they in?
Oh, that's good. Well, why don't we start with the gold property? That was the main compliant property that we used in the 43-101 report for the prospectus on the go public transaction on the IPO. Now, Pucarini is unique in that it's one property with a major high sulfidation epithermal gold target that we identified by satellite remote sensing. And so if I take a step back, without giving up too much of our strategic business model, we identified properties with our strategic partner, Globetrotters Resources Group, which is a project generator in Peru that I've been working with since 2009 with Richard Osman and Manuel Montoyo, in order to use remote sensing to target alteration. So we look for phyllic and argillic alteration through many different processes and massaging of the data that's readily available in the country. It works really well in the Andes of South America, not just Peru, but the Andes where there's no vegetation cover. Gives off a really nice signature. From this exercise, we find hundreds of anomalies that we need to prioritize based on maybe size or remoteness, altitude, things like that, and we follow up on them. So Pucarini was discovered this way. This gold, I call it a gold region because it's actually 9 properties that we've staked, 9 different anomalies that we've staked, and the focus is right now is on the most advanced part of that, which is the Pucarini central target. Where we have some phenomenal, surface alteration, geochem, and geophysical surveys have also reinforced that, a system, a high sulfidation system is there and carries good gold grade. So that will get drilled, once we receive the permits. We're hoping sometime this year we'll receive the permits on Pucarini. It'll be drilled for the very first time. It's a known gold district, but a very underexplored gold district. There's 2 other mines in the region and a few other older occurrences. So since we've staked these 9 different anomalies, about 16,000 hectares, there's been a lot of other activity and staking going on in the region. So I think you'll see some a lot of work and capital being driven towards this gold region in Puno, Peru. So that's Pucarini for you. It's a district play. It's not one property. It's now 9 properties. So we'll have a lot of work following up on all these other satellite properties, as well as drilling Pucarini this year.
It sounds like a lot of work there already for you to do. Now that's, as we said, that's one district play, and then you have the copper projects that I started talking about, and I guess you'll be doing a lot of work there too this year.
Yeah, I mean the main focus for the company is porphyry copper deposits, and the porphyry coppers are they're massive, right? And it's what the majors and the mid tiers are looking for: large tonnage, decent grade copper deposits. And Peru is well known for the Paleocene copper belt, the southern Peru copper belt, and the northern Peru copper belt, which all contain mega deposits. And this remote sensing targeting exercise or process that I've been talking about works well with porphyritic copper alteration signatures, and that's what we're looking for. And so Esperanza is a probably a 5-year-old state property from Globetrotters. We acquired it from Globetrotters as well, our strategic partner, which we have a similar management, similar shareholder base, kind of an open-ended agreement where they have over 30 properties right now, and they're going to have another 30 to 40 properties once they follow up on these other targets. So it's kind of a continual treadmill of opportunities and properties that we have access to, and Esperanza is one of them. Esperanza is it's a beast. It's Manuel Montoyo knows it well. He essentially discovered this. He's now our VP exploration that's following up on the surface work that needs to be done, but also the community work there. It's a very well-known artisanal gold mining district. Very small villages, but they're obviously supportive of mining, and if we can all work together, then and support each other, then it will work out. It's assisting with infrastructure is the main focus there, and with the needs of the village people and whatnot. So it's been a couple of years of working on the property and building up the targets and whatnot, as these porphyry coppers are large. I mean, this is a 3 kilometer by 2 kilometer potassic altered core, and the alteration is seen at surface. The porphyry unit is actually larger than that, and it's never been drilled. So it'd be a very exciting one to get drilled. We're fairly advanced through the permitting stage, as we are with Pucarini. So we expect Esperanza and Pucarini's drill permits to come sometime in 2022. And we're very excited to drill both those properties, towards the end of this year, if not early next year. But those are probably the first two they're going to see the drill bit. And the third one is our probably our flagship. It's our backstone. It's called Don Gregorio, and Don Gregorio is not well known. It's a property that was acquired in a Peruvian auction in 2008 by Candente, publicly traded company. DNT is their symbol. Candente Copper acquired the property and through the auction, and they've done a little bit of work. We've had the opportunity of optioning this property from them, so we've been working on it for the last couple of years. This property was discovered by Newmont and Buenaventura back in 1994. It was actually discovered earlier by BRGM in the late 70s with some shallow holes, but followed up. They're looking for gold. Newmont and Buenaventura were looking for gold in this district, and while they found gold, it was very low grade gold, and then they soon realized that it was rich in copper. It's a porphyry copper gold system, not an epithermal gold system that they're looking for. So they moved on. This is back in the mid 90s. Suppressed prices and whatnot, and that these grades and this style of mineralization was not highly sought after. So it sat for a while, and now we're going to drill it again, and we're going to basically add to this deposit that's already been found, and add tonnage and potentially economic resources of gold and copper to Don Gregorio. It sits in the northern Peru copper belt. There's many major mines around this region and within kind of eyeshot of the property. And the challenge there is not making a discovery and finding a deposit and building a mine. The challenge is the social community exercise and program that we've enlisted ourselves in, and that we will endure. It's going to be a challenge, but we're up for that challenge, and we're more than willing and wanting to take on an ESG political social challenge, exercise, if you will, then go out and make a new discovery for a world-class porphyry copper deposit. I mean, this is, like I say, our backstone, our backdrop, or kind of a foundation that's, a discovery's been made, and we have an opportunity to move it forward. So really excited about Don Gregorio and moving that forward. And, we've been working up there probably 3 years now with the communities and whatnot. And the issues right now stem, there's major issues there with flooding. It's the rainy season, so the access is very, very tough. A lot of roads are washed out and whatnot. So we'll be getting in there soon when it dries up and helping the community rebuild some of the roads and the infrastructure, and working with them in order to ensure that everybody's supportive of each other's needs, and that we can, pick up the exploration program again and get those permits. So the permitting for all three properties, began back in 2021. Some are more advanced than others. We expect to get 1 to 2 of these permits this year, and eventually, by 2023. Sometime get all 3 properties permitted. Given the permitting process and the political kind of backlog, if you will, in the country with getting projects permitted, we figured it was best to permit all 3 at the same time. We will go through this process. When we acquire new projects from Globetrotter, we will start permitting them right away, as it can be a lengthy process.
Yes, I understand that. Often adds a lot to the time needed to bring a project forward. So you're working on the projects and on the permitting. Still, although you're drilling probably only towards the end of the year, there's still a lot of capital-intensive work, I guess. I think in your presentation it said at the last count there was something like $2.7 million in cash. So how long is that going to last you? What can you achieve with that amount of cash? Do you have to go back to the market at the end of this year, or perhaps even only next year? Can you tell us?
Yeah, good question. Now, I guess it's important to just highlight what stage these projects are at. Like Esperanza, the porphyry copper gold, like I said, we're in about target development stage. A little bit more work to be done on geophysical targeting there to get to target testing, where we have drill pads ready to confirm that a mineralized system exists with potentially economic grade. So target development for Esperanza, whereas Pucarini has been through that. Target testing is there. We're ready to drill as many holes, but we'll probably start with 5 platforms and drill 5 holes there. Both those properties will fit into the $2.7 million budget that you speak of, that we have slated for 2022 and early 2023. These aren't going to be massive drill programs. These are early kind of exploration. Let's drill in the and where we figure it's we're a central part of the system here, and then we'll go into a stage 2 and stage 3 drilling. So yeah, to answer your question, definitely enough to drill 2 of these properties, Pucarini and Esperanza, a gold and a copper gold system that have never been drilled before.
Well, certainly sounds like a very interesting story. To sum up, please give us a short, tell us why people should take a closer look at Forte at this point in time. What is the value proposition now, just to sum it up, what we talked about?
Yeah, I think, not just specific with Forte, but with a lot of emerging junior copper stories like this. Yeah, there can be a lot of value created in a short amount of time, taking potentially discovery through the mineral inventory development process where you're building resources. Now, that curve is very steep, right? And so, we're sitting at $7 million market cap at this point. It's going to be a fun ride. There's going to be a lot of value created, from these properties and others. We plan to, potentially acquire more and more properties from the database that we have access to, and really, add value with the drill bit.